So today is the second last day of December, and we are going to be doing the second last chapter of Romans, which is chapter 16. And just like always, I'm going to share my highlights. My highlight from this chapter is from verse 1 to verse 7, and they're like two major highlights. So chapter 15 says, "We who are strong have an obligation to bear with the failings of the weak and not to please ourselves. Let each of us please his neighbor for his good, to build him up." And in the previous verse, we looked at people who are weak in faith and might not do certain things because of that, and those who are maybe strong in faith and are aware of the freedom they have to do the different things that we ought to be able to do, and that we shouldn't, judge each other. And here he's saying that those who are strong have an obligation to bear with those who are weak. It continues in verse 3 and says, "For Christ did not please himself, but as it is written, the reproaches of those who reproached you fell on me." So obviously Christ was the strongest of us all. He's the only person that lived as man and did not sin at all. But regardless of how strong he was in faith and how much he was just better than us in every single way, he did not look down on us. Rather, he carried our burdens, he carried our sin for himself. And that is why, as Christians, those of us that are stronger in faith, or those that are just stronger in the knowledge of God, have a responsibility to carry the burdens of those who are weak and to bear with them and to be patient with them. It says in verse 4 that, "For whatever was written in former days was written for our instruction, that through endurance and through the encouragement of the scriptures we might have hope. May the God of endurance and encouragement grant you to live in such harmony with one another in accord with Jesus Christ, that together you may with one voice glorify God and Father of our Lord Jesus Christ. Therefore, welcome one another as Christ has welcomed you, for the glory of God." I really love this because it reminds us that the goal is for all of us to know Christ, and for all of us to eventually, when that day comes, be able to be together and glorify God together. And so, just like Christ was patient with us and loved us and invited us to know him and to have a relationship with God, his Father, it's very important for us to bear with one another and love each other, regardless of how different we are or the differences in opinion and whatever that is. It's important for us to show each other love, so that ultimately we can welcome everybody to get to know Christ and to love him. So yeah, those are my highlights for today.